Football, the beautiful game that has captured the hearts of millions worldwide. From the dusty fields where it all began to the grand stadiums that host epic showdowns today, the journey of football has been nothing short of extraordinary. But have you ever wondered how the rules of this beloved sport have evolved over time? How did the game we know as soccer transform from its humble beginnings into the global phenomenon it is today? Well, buckle up, because in this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating history of football and uncovering the remarkable changes that have shaped the way we play and experience this thrilling sport. Get ready for a journey through time as we explore the twists and turns that have made football the dynamic and ever-evolving spectacle it is today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Historical origins and early rules. Football, or soccer as it's known in some parts of the world, didn't just appear overnight. Its roots stretch far back into history. The commonly accepted tale traces the game's development to 12th century England. Meadows and roads transformed into unprepared pitches, where a ball was not only kicked, but also punched with fists. It was a far cry from the modern, refined version we see today. In those days, football was a rough and tumble affair, a blend of kicks and punches that made it a more violent spectacle. If we hopped into the time machine and landed in the 1860s, we might be surprised to see a game that looked more like rugby or American football than the soccer we know today. Picture this: a bunch of young men in an open field playing with a large, muddy object. If someone caught the ball, they could run until tripped or hacked down. And hacking wasn't just a term, it was a sharp kick to the shins. The public schools took the lead in putting pen to paper, attempting to establish some semblance of order in this chaos. Each school had its own set of rules. Imagine that: different pitches, ball sizes, and varying opinions on how much handling was allowed. It was like every school had its own version of the game. Enter the Sheffield Club, in 1857, the first ever football club, distinct from schools or universities. They decided to lay down the law with 11 rules, likely inspired by the laws it used at public schools and Cambridge. Pushing with hands? Allowed. Hacking or tripping? Not so much. Running with the ball in the hands? Nope, that was a no-go. If a player caught the ball without it touching the ground, a free kick followed, somewhat similar to today's rugby mark. There were no offside rules. Players known as kick-throughs camped out permanently in the opponent's half. And team size? Well, that was a free-for-all. Referees? Who needed them? Disputes were settled the old-fashioned way, captains going head-to-head. Formation of standardized rules. In 1863, a pivotal moment in football history occurred with the establishment of the Football Association. This marked the beginning of standardized rules that would shape the modern concept of football as we know it today. The document, published in December of 1863, laid the groundwork for the laws of associated football. These laws, heavily influenced by the Cambridge rules, have evolved significantly over time. In 1886, the control of these laws was passed to the International Football Association Board, who still oversees them today. Now, let's break down some of the key principles and rules introduced during this period. The maximum length of the ground, 200 yards, which is almost double compared to a regular football pitch today, at 110 yards. The maximum width, 100 yards. Goals defined by two upright posts, 8 yards apart, without any tape or bar across them. The game kicks off with a toss for goals, and play begins with a place kick from the center of the ground. Scoring goals back then had its nuances. A goal was one when the ball passed between the goalposts or over the space between them, not being thrown, knocked on, or carried. And after a goal is scored, the losing side gets the chance to kick off, adding an element of fairness to the game. Let's talk about gameplay. When the ball goes out of bounds, the first player to touch it throws it from the point where it left the ground. No player can run with the ball, and tripping or hacking is a big no-no. And get this, no hands allowed. Players couldn't use their hands to hold or pass the ball, and fair catches earned a player a free kick. But remember, he had to claim it by making a mark with his heel. And imagine this, players were not allowed to wear projecting nails, iron plates on their boots. Safety first, right? the fascinating journey into the formation of standardized rules in football. It's incredible to see how the game has evolved over the years. If you're enjoying this trip down football's memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more football content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Introduction of the offside rule. Let's talk about the offside rule. Now, if you ever found yourself scratching your head in confusion during a match, wondering why the referee blew that whistle, you're not alone. Offside is often seen as one of the trickiest aspects of the game. So, what exactly is the offside rule? Well, according to Law 11 of the Law of the Game, a player is in offside position if any part of their body, excluding hands and arms, is in the opponent's half of the pitch, and they're closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent, usually the second to last defender or the goalkeeper. Now, being in an offside position isn't a foul in itself. It only becomes an offense if the player in that position becomes actively involved in play, interferes with an opponent, or gains an advantage. Back in 1863, a player was considered offside unless 3 opponents, including the goalkeeper, were in front of him. That's 3 defenders. Imagine the chaos on the field. Fast forward to 1925, and the rule evolved. Now a player was considered offside unless only 2 opponents, including the goalkeeper, were in front of him. The player with the ball was finally catching a break, but the evolution didn't stop there. In 1990, the offside rule underwent another transformation. A player is now considered onside if they are level with the second to last player of the opposing team, including the goalkeeper. No more hair-splitting decisions on whether a player's big toe was ahead or behind. The offside rule isn't the only rule we've seen change over the years. Football has evolved to enhance fairness, safety, and the overall quality of play. From introducing goal line technology to video assistance referees, the game we love today has come a long way. Recent changes and technological influences. One of the most significant changes in recent years has been the introduction of video assistance referee, or VAR technology. It's like having a football detective on the field, and it's causing quite a buzz. VAR allows referees to review certain decisions during a match with the help of video footage. Whether it's a close call on a goal, or a potential penalty, or a red card situation, VAR steps in to make sure the right call is made. It's all about ensuring fairness and accuracy. I know what some of you might be thinking. Doesn't this just slow down the game? Well, yes, it adds a bit of extra time, but the goal here is to get it right. Let's face it, there's nothing worse than a game-changing decision that's not accurate. VAR aims to minimize those moments and keep the game true to its spirit. But as with any game changer, VAR has sparked some debates. Some argue it takes away from the spontaneity and raw emotion of the game. Others praise it for its ability to correct potentially game-altering mistakes. Where do you stand on the VAR debate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Moving on to the future of football and potential rule changes. The discussions are buzzing around factors like player safety, fair play, and how the sport continues to evolve. Player safety is a hot topic, and rightfully so. We've seen some intense debates around challenges, especially those involving head injuries. The question now is how to strike the right balance between the physicality we love in football and the safety of the players on the pitch. Fair play is another aspect that's constantly under the microscope. How can the rules be adapted to ensure fair competition while still allowing for the unpredictability that makes football so exhilarating? It's a delicate dance, and the governing bodies are carefully considering every step. And let's not forget about the evolving nature of the sport itself. Football is a living, breathing entity, and as the game transforms, so must its rules. From new playing styles to advancements in training techniques, the sport is in a constant state of evolution. Well, there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the recent changes and ongoing discussions shaping the world of football. What are your thoughts on VAR, player safety, and the future of the game? Let's keep the conversation going in those comments down below. If, like me, you were surprised to learn about some of these crazy facts, here's another video you can check out right now. Until next time, keep the passion alive on and off the pitch.